Hello everyone, myself Nisha, a student of Law Center 1, going to present on the topic of judicial separation. We know that marriage under Hindu law is considered such a sacramental tie which cannot be untied and is treated as an indissoluble union of husband and wife. Few decades back, the remedy of dissolving any marriage was so unthinkable and contemptible that prior to enactment of Hindu Marriage Act 1955, there was no provision through which a person even in a failed marriage could get out of it. Reforms in the Hindu law by way of legislation and amendments introduced this remedy of judicial separation, which gives the warring couple an opportunity to reconcile their differences by giving them some space and time to introspect about giving a chance to their marriage before finally breaking it down. Judicial separation is basically a separation between husband and wife by the order of a court of competent jurisdiction. It is a remedy lesser than divorce and it enables the spouse to live apart. When under certain circumstances, it becomes difficult for one party to continue in the society of the other, law allows separation. As a result of this separation, active marital life between the spouse is suspended, but the marriage does not dissolve, but it subsists. Why judicial instead of divorce? Among several technicalities and reasons, judicial separation is just a jolt to, and not unlike divorce, dissolution of marriage. It is a better remedy from the sociological point of view. Needless to say that the proper development of children depends upon a viable marriage. It is therefore in the interest of society that all attempts must be made to preserve the marriage. When husband and wife are not sure that whether they want complete breakdown of marriage or not, then on going with the option of judicial separation instead of divorce, they get an opportunity to introspect about giving a chance to their marriage by getting adequate space, independence, and time. Any of the spouse who feels like seeking this remedy can file a petition for judicial separation in a district court under section 10 of the Hindu Marriage Act. Now let's see what the section 10 of Hindu Marriage Act states. Section 10 subsection 1 firstly talks about the retrospective operation of this provision. That is, it applies to the spouses of a Hindu marriage whether the marriage was solemnized before or after the commencement of this act. The next main thing which this section talks about is the grounds of judicial separation. The grounds for judicial separation and divorce are virtually same. Whatever grounds for divorce under section 13, subsection 1 and subsection 2 have been laid down, they have been similarly adopted in section 10. So here's an overview of these grounds. Let's understand the grounds in a little more detail, starting with adultery. Adultery is a voluntary sexual intercourse between two persons who are not legally married to each other and one of whom is married to another person. Even a single act of adultery may be sufficient for getting the relief of judicial separation under this head. Moving on to cruelty. Cruelty is ground for matrimonial relief under all matrimonial laws. When a party to a marriage treats the other party with cruelty or behaves in such a way that the petitioner cannot reasonably be expected to live with the respondent, then he or she can file for judicial separation on this ground. Moving to desertion. Judicial separation may be granted where the respondent has deserted the petitioner for a continuous period of at least 2 years immediately preceding the presentation of the petition. Now, unsoundness of mind. If a spouse in a marriage is suffering from a mental disorder or sort, which makes it impossible for the other spouse to live with the sufferer, the other spouse can file for a decree of judicial separation, provided some conditions to establish the unsoundness must be proved. Moving forward with conversion or apostasy. If any of the spouses gets converted into a religion other than Hindu, the other spouse can file for judicial separation. This is provided under Section 13, subsection 1, subclause 2(1) of Hindu Marriage Act. Now, virulent and incurable leprosy can also be a ground for judicial separation. That is, if a party is suffering from leprosy which can't be cured, the other party can seek judicial separation as a remedy to get out of such marriage. Now, renunciation of the world. Under Hindu law, renouncing from the worldly affairs by entering any religious order amounts to civil death and can be used as a ground for judicial separation by the other party. Now, venereal disease. A venereal disease in a communicable form is also a sufficient ground for filing the petition for judicial separation. The presumed death or missing spouse. A person may present a petition for judicial separation on the ground that the other party to the marriage has not been heard of as being alive for a period of 7 years. Now, moving with the additional grounds available to wife to claim this decree. Firstly, starting with the bigamy. Bigamy, that is remarriage or earlier marriage of the husband, can be a ground for judicial separation, provided the other wife is alive at the time of presentation of the petition. Rape, sodomy, or bestiality by the husband committed after the solemnization of his marriage with the petitioner can be used as a ground for judicial separation. Similarly, option of puberty or repudiation of marriage. A wife can seek judicial separation if solemnization of her marriage with the respondent husband was done before she had attained the age of 15 years, provided she had repudiated the marriage on attaining the age of 15 years, but before attaining the age of 18 years. And non-resumption of cohabitation after decree or order of maintenance can also be considered as a ground of judicial separation. Now, coming to the incidents and effects of decree of judicial separation, which is provided or discussed under Section 10, subsection 2 of Hindu Marriage Act. A decree of judicial separation does not snap the legal bond of marriage between the parties. However, it gives a legal license to the petitioner to live separate from the respondent, and the latter can no more insist that the former to cohabit with him or her as the case may be. Parties can't marry during that period, or else he or she will be guilty of bigamy and will be liable for punishment prescribed by Section 17 of this Act. Matters relating to the spouses, property, and children may be decided by the court while deciding on a petition for judicial separation, and even earlier while the petition is pending for disposal. So, the mutual rights and obligation arising from the marriage are suspended, and the rights and duties prescribed by the decree are substituted thereof. Now, coming to when this petition of judicial separation can be used as a ground for divorce. If the cohabitation has not been resumed for 1 year or more following a decree of judicial separation, it is a ground for divorce available to either party. However, it is not necessary, and the parties are not bound to have recourse to that remedy. They can, for the whole of their life, live separately and yet keep their status of marriage alive. Now, judicial separation and marital rape. Owing to the condition of the female in the society, the wife has been given a special protection in this context by Section 376A of IPC, which states that sexual intercourse by the husband after a decree of judicial separation without the wife's consent is made punishable with imprisonment up to 2 years and also a fine. Now, coming to revocation of decree of judicial separation, which is discussed under Section 10, subsection 2 of Hindu Marriage Act. It provides that a decree for judicial separation is reversible and may be rescinded if the separated parties who live apart under a decree of judicial separation desire to make a compromise. Then there is no impediment whatsoever, and the court may rescind such a decree of separation if it thinks it just to do so. Thereafter, the parties may resume their normal life without again undergoing ceremonies of marriage. The power to rescind through available, though available under section 10 subsection 2, must be exercised with circumspection only to achieve the purpose of giving every opportunity to the parties for reconciliation. Now, at the end, although marriage is considered as a sacrament in our nation, but a person must have an exit from a relationship which he or she is not happy with. With the enactment of Hindu Marriage Act, the person in a marriage do not need to stay in it and suffer anymore, as they can seek relief under the act by way of judicial separation or a decree of divorce. The act does not provide for leaving a marriage without any reason, as it has provisions for particular grounds on which the parties can file for the decree. In short, judicial separation works as a warning bell or safety valve which enables the parties to rejuvenate their bond lest it breathes its last. That's all. Thank you.